All right, we're going to start in a downward dog today. So set yourself up. Take your take your feet hip distance apart. Might make this really gentle in the beginning. Trying to get that long, flat back. You might have a really big bend in your knees. Think about sending that tailbone up to the sky. And just closing the eyes for a few moments. I want you to start to inhale and exhale through the nose. Maybe taking all 10 fingers and spreading them out wide. And just focus on that breath. Guys are doing so good. Keep holding that. Take a couple more breaths. Then we're going to shift to a bear pose, hovering our knees 1 inch above the ground. Draw that belly button up and in and dome through the upper back. Just building some heat here. Remember to breathe in and out, filling your body with oxygen. It's going to help you get through your practice as you take big inhales and exhales. Send those hips back, downward dog. Lifting the hips high to the sky. We're going to inhale, lifting the right leg. And we're going to maybe take some circles with it. You might take big circles with the leg. You might even bend the knee and take some circles if that feels good. Just loosening up on this side. Eventually sending it back up. Bend the knee and you're going to stack the hips. Just giving a nice stretch in that right side, that right hip. Eventually bringing that knee all the way to your nose, dome through that upper back. Drawing that nose up, tucking that belly button up and in, and then plant the knee down. Also planting that right hand open up to the left. Little side plank. You might send that left arm up and over. Really lengthening through those toes all the way through that upper arm. Maybe you gaze up underneath that tricep towards the ceiling. Breathing into that side body. And then shifting forward, we're going to take it to a gated child's pose. So keeping that left leg extended, you're going to fold forward, maybe extending the arms fully. Taking a few breaths here. So right knee bent, left leg extended. Arms extended in front of you, gated child's pose. Focus on that breath. Eventually, we're going to plant that right hand, opening back up to that side extended pose, taking a few breaths. And then planting the left hand down. Take it back to a high plank here. Take your first vinyasa, shifting forward on the toes, chaturanga down. Exhale. Inhaling to an up dog. Take those shoulders up and back. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. Lifting those hips. You might even pedal through the feet here if that feels good. Just sending that oxygen throughout the body. On your next inhale, reach that left leg up to the sky now. Maybe making some circles here, or maybe bending the knee and making some circles. Just loosening at that left hip. Eventually re-extending it, bend at the knee and stack the hips for a moment. Giving the left hip a good stretch. Should be feeling it all the way through that side body. Remembering to breathe. Eventually shifting that knee all the way to your nose, the left knee to your nose, round through that upper back. Draw that belly button up and in. And then plant the knee down, opening up to that side body. Planting that left hand down. Right arm goes up and over. Feel that lengthening effect to those fingertips all the way to the toes. You might even gaze up underneath that right tricep to the sky. And just breathe into that side body. Maybe take a couple more breaths. And then shift into a gated child's pose on this side. So keeping that right leg extended, you're gonna sit on that left heel, extending the arms forward. Maybe bringing the forehead down. Taking a few breaths here. Send the oxygen throughout your body. Eventually, we're going to walk those hands back up, plant the left hand, opening back up to that side body stretch. Finding a little bit of length here. And then planting the hand, step it back to a high plank position. Get a really strong base here, feeling that energy come up from those fingers all the way to the shoulders. Draw that belly button up and in and down to the upper back. You might even take a few rocks forward and back. And if you'd like, at your own pace, take a vinyasa, meeting in a downward dog. Taking it as slow or as fast as you'd like. Connecting each movement to your breath. Eventually, when you're there, find that length in your long, flat back, sending that tailbone up to the sky. And just breathe here. Quieting the mind, focusing on that breath. Eventually, inhale that right leg up to the sky, bringing it forward to a low lunge. Drop that back left knee. Bringing your hands to wherever feels nice. You might bring them to your thighs or cactus them out. Maybe you interlace them, stretching your shoulders. I want you to think about drawing that belly button up and in, sending those hips forward and down, getting a nice stretch in that left hip flexor. Sending oxygen throughout the body. You're ready. We're going to plant those hands, shift the hips back, half split. So taking those right toes up to the sky. You might forward fold with a slightly flat back. Keeping that chest lifted as you forward fold. Continually focusing on that breath. Eventually shifting all the way forward, back to that low lunge. We're going to take a seat on that left hip, stacking the right knee over the left in this cow face pose. So stacking the right knee over the left, we're going to inhale, lift really tall. And exhale, forward fold. If this is a lot of sensation, just sitting here, feel free to just stay in this position upright. Trying to create that long, flat back. Or forward fold for more sensation. Trying to keep that long, flat back. Dropping that belly button first. You might allow your air to have a color to it as it enters the body. Maybe you send that oxygen to your hips. Imagining tensions releasing as you let the oxygen flow freely. Take a few more breaths here. Eventually making your way back up. We're going to do a little break dance move here. So taking our hands, we're going to plant them behind us, extending through our legs, and then we're going to make a seated twist position on the other side. So stacking that left leg, left knee over the right knee now. So if you didn't catch the little breakdance move, make your way to a left knee over the right knee in that cow face pose on the opposite side. We're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold here. Once again, letting that oxygen flow freely. You might add a color to that oxygen, imagining it flowing through, releasing that tension in your hips. Take a few more breaths. Eventually making your way up. We're going to plant that left foot down, extending the right foot back now. Taking it to this high runner's lunge, and you might drop that back right knee. Coming to a low lunge on this left side now. You might be facing the back of your mat. So a little bit of reverse. You might take your hands wherever you'd like, maybe matching the previous side you did, or wherever else you'd like. Thinking about tucking that belly button up and in, sending those hips forward and down. Give that right hip flexor a good stretch. Focusing on the breath. When you're ready, we're going to plant those hands, shifting the hips back, half split. So taking those left toes up to the sky. Long left leg. Think about having that long flat back as well as you forward fold. Breathing in and out. When you're ready, we're going to shift forward back into that left leg, coming to a left side skandasana. So opening up to the side, extend to that right leg, keeping a bend in that left knee. You might keep your hands helping you to prop up, or you might bring your hands to heart center, lifting to the chest. Take a few breaths here. Eventually shifting to that right leg, putting a bend and extending through the left. So right side skandasana now. Same thing, you might use your hands to prop yourself up, or you might bring your hands to heart center, lifting through the chest. Take a few moments here to breathe. Eventually coming back to that front of your mat, plant your hands, step your foot back, high plank here. Take a vinyasa, meeting in a downward dog, connecting your movement to your breath. As slow or as fast as you'd like. Once you're in that downward dog, once again, find that length, sending the tailbone to the sky, long, flat back. You might even be a little warmer to try and get those heels a little closer to the ground. Inhale, lift that right leg, bring it forward to a pigeon pose on this side. So taking that shin, trying to get it parallel with the top of your mat. We're gonna inhale, lift tall. exhale, forward fold over that bended right knee. Let the oxygen flow freely here. Letting tension release from that hip joint. You might even let your exhales be twice as long as your inhales, helping your body to relax. We're gonna make our way into the left side pigeon pose. So get there however you'd like, maybe stepping the foot back, extending the left leg up now, bringing it forward to that pigeon. Whatever's easiest for you. Eventually, when you're there on that left side pigeon pose, inhale, lift tall, and exhale, forward fold. Releasing that left hip joint. Once again, letting your exhales be longer than your inhales. Whenever you're ready, you're gonna come back up, making your way onto your back, however you'd like. When you're there, you're gonna draw your knees into your chest, taking a few rocks side to side. You might even take your legs up to happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of your feet, drawing your knees into your armpits. You might rock to side to side in this position as well, releasing that lower back. Letting those exhales be twice as long as your inhales. And then extending out to a Shavasana pose. Taking those palms up to the sky. Draw those shoulder blades underneath the back. Letting your body fully relax in this position. Shavasana.
Start to bring awareness back to your body. Taking big inhales and exhales. You might wiggle your fingers and toes. And make other small movements, bringing life back to your body. When you're ready, you might roll to your favorite side, cradling your head with your arm. Eventually coming up to a seated position, bringing those hands to heart center. Maybe close your eyes. Take a moment to thank your body. Being grateful to yourself for showing up to yoga today. Amazing job today, guys. Have a wonderful Monday. Namaste.